Hello everyone, welcome back to the cave. My name's Kovadis. Today I will be cutting this heavily fractured and included um, amethyst quartz. It's got a very light coloring in it. It has got a lot of fractures internally and a lot of inclusions, but I plan to make it into something really special and very brilliant. We're gonna start with 120 carats, and I'm sure I'm going to lose a lot because even just at cleaning up stages in the beginning, just preforming, I can see where I'm going, and there's a lot that has to be removed. Hopefully, I will end up with what I imagine, what I envisioned. Let's start. I don't have any fancy cameras, just my one phone camera, which I hold in my hand while I cut. The stone has a lot of fractures that go right through the stone all the way to the outside, and a lot of inclusions. So let's see if I can make my vision come true and what I envision in my mind. And I work my way around these fractures and inclusions and come up with a special gem that I would like to have in the end. I'm preforming, and I've taken out a lot of the outside already. Um, so the stone has shrunk quite a bit, and I think it's going to shrink quite a bit more. This will be completely my own design with what I envision, and I hope you like it. And I hope you go to the end and see the reveal because I think you will love it. It will be a stunning stone. Compared to what we started with, it will be stunning. Again, I'm putting some more wintergreen oil on the stone now after preforming it so we can see inside what I have left and all the fractures and the inclusion. There you go. You can see there's quite a bit. So to maneuver around them and come up with what I envision is going to be a challenge, but I'm up for it. Let's start cutting. So I'm going to start with the outline of the girdle, the outline of the stone also, which, I'm going to start with 12 facets on the girdle and take it from there. Other than I sped up the video a little bit to make it a little bit shorter because I have about 3 hours of footage. While videotaping, I did not videotape everything. I only videotaped the critical parts where it's clear what I'm doing, the beginnings and the ends of um, whatever it is that I'm doing, so that you can follow through what happened through cutting with cutting stone. I'm using my vision, my eyesight, my own common sense to set the definition of the girdle, the angles, the size, the symmetry, and which I will follow through to cutting the whole stone, the entire stone. So I'm not using any devices other than my own vision to follow through. And I'm making sure that the girdle is correct because that will set the rest of the stone and how correct and symmetrical and properly aligned it will be. I start with the four main and find my center point and then continue from there. If those look okay, and I'm sure they will be, as you can see, then I adjust anything that need adjusting and then continue cutting the rest of the facets on the first facets on the first row in the pavilion. And the first row will have 48 facets. I'm doing 3 rows of 48 facets each to start, and then a skirt with 10 facets, I believe. Yes. Now here's the first row, is almost finished. Now I always undercut, as I've always done. I said that before. I always undercut and then adjust as I go up in grit. So I start with my 600 and then 1200 and then 3000. And then when it's fine enough, I don't need to go back to those grits. The rest of the rows, row P2 and P3, I will cut them with the 3000 directly. And that's very helpful. Doing it that way saves me a lot of time, and I don't need to have a big grit because it's just cutting very fine facets from here. However, polishing is giving me an issue, but we'll work that out. You can see I have a lot of scratches. I've already polished the first tier and I have to redo it when I come close with the camera. Now the eye cannot see those scratches at all. Only when I come really close with the phone, I see them, but still they're there and I know they're there. So I'm going to repolish all, and you can see now the tip of the pavilion just broke right off. So I have to recut the entire thing, which is okay because it was already weak and it was fractured, and I should have cut below it anyway, but I didn't. I thought it might, but it didn't work out, which is okay because better now than later. So I have to recut the entire first tier of the pavilion. So I have recut the first tier and polished. I removed my bat lap and I started polishing on my 60,000 grit resin lap, but I'm using a cerium oxide solution on it. I keep spraying it every 30 seconds as I polish, and that's working out really fine because otherwise that resin polishing lap doesn't work very well. It causes more scratches, but this way I find it's working just perfect. So I'm adding 2 more tiers of 48 and I'm polishing them on the pavilion, and then I will add this skirt. Here you can see the second tier and then the third tier, and polish and onto the skirt of the pavilion. And all these tiers, all these facets, I'm doing completely by eye. And for this to work out properly, I have to do the first tier 100% correctly, and patience, a lot of patience and a lot of time for it to come out so perfect and so symmetrical. So that is a very important, because the small fault, if you leave it there, it accumulates and it starts growing and growing the more you cut. And here we can see the stone is well centered, and all three tiers are fantastic, symmetrical, same size, and it just worked out fantastic, just beautiful. Now I'm cutting the skirt of the pavilion, which will be the last facets on the pavilion. That's 5 per side, and that will line up the girdle. Those I put them there so that the girdle lines up properly and straight, and it doesn't follow the curve because the rectangular shape of the stone. And you can see there now the girdle is straight. So that takes care of that. It looks great. The pavilion looks fantastic, other than the inclusions that pierce right through and the fractures that pierce right through to the surface and everything. But it's beautiful, well polished. Next, I will transfer, do the dop transfer, and after that, I will start cutting the crown, which is going to be very interesting. This is my own design, by the way, so I think you're gonna like it. So I waited a few hours and put the stone back in the quill of the machine. I'm gonna start cutting the crown. The crown is going to be 3 rows of 12 facets each, step cut at a high dome, high curve. Like I want it to be really high dome. And I think it's going to look fantastic. Plus, I'm going to add an off-center square as the table, and you're going to see that. Done with the first tier, now on to the second tier. And that was easy. And on to the third tier. And you can see those fractures and inclusion coming right through the surface of the stone, and there's nothing I can do about that. It's all around the stone. However, it doesn't take away from the beauty of the stone, especially at the end. I hope you see the end of the stone, the reveal. You're gonna see what I mean. Here you can see I'm almost done with the third tier and on with the fourth tier, which is only 4 instead of 12, 4 off-center, offset facets. So, and those are gonna create the table for me. They will give the table shape. And there you can see that what I mean. The rectangular table and those facets off-center will give it a really nice diagonal rectangular table that you can see right there. I will polish and then put the stone in the 45-degree jig and cut the table and polish it. So after I touch up the girdle a little bit with the polishing, just a bit, we'll take it off, clean it, measure it. It's 21 carats, a little over 21 carats, and you can see here how stunning the stone is, how brilliant. And clean it up and do the reveal at the end. I hope you see the reveal. And here you will see the stone, what it looks like. I took it outside, 7 in the morning, 7 a.m. Birds are chirping, beautiful natural sounds of nature, sun seeping through the trees. It's not quite up yet. And what a gorgeous, stunning place to look at something so beautiful. It really turned out as I expected it, and a little bit more in terms of brilliance and shine and listening. Thank you again for watching. Please do like, subscribe, and share our videos. If you have any comments, any complaints, any issues, please do let me know, because now I know how to find your comments. I did not know for the longest time. I had to discover where they were, and I finally have, and I will reply. And again, thank you. Bye for now. Until next video. Take care and be safe.